L'Jarius Sneed, okay? He's being rumored as one of the targets for the Miami Dolphins. Right now, this would be via trade because they franchise tagged him at $19 million. So if they decide to trade him, somebody will have to give up draft capital. Not only that, he would be a 4-year, $65 million. That's the estimated. I think he's going to be about 4 years, $70 million. Okay. He's going to be in that range where you're talking, 17 to 18 million a year. All right. I don't want to hear nothing about no L'Jarius Sneed to Miami. It makes absolutely no sense, which also makes me feel like Greer would do something crazy like that. TD, why are you saying that? We need to replace X. Hold on. First of all, they're not going to replace X. They're going to go with Cam Smith. Second off, if they did do something like that and replace Xavier Howard, then you've officially given up on Cam Smith. That is a fact. It ain't no, well, he could play the slot. No, he's a boundary corner. Stop. That means you have officially given up on Cam Smith. Because if you're spending that kind of money on L'Jarius Sneed, we already know what you got on Jalen Ramsey, in which you might be restructuring Jalen Ramsey or extending him anyway, which is going to kick him down the road even longer. There ain't no room for no Cam Smith. There ain't no room for him. Outside of being a certified backup. It may, and well, Cam can be depth. Well, he's at a cheap price. I'll give you that as a second round pick. But at the same token, it ain't making no sense, y'all. It makes absolutely no sense. And then on top of it, you're going to invest like $18 million a year on a corner, knowing that you had to come off of that number at some point anyway. It's not adding up, ladies and gentlemen. It really isn't. But this Chris Greer, I can see him doing something crazy like this. And at the time, people ain't going to say it's crazy. I'm going to even root for it. But at the same token, long term, what are you doing? I'm still like, where's your path at, Chris Greer? We don't understand anything. But y'all notice how quiet it's been. You notice how quiet it's been. This man is scrambling, trying to figure this out. You notice how quiet it's been. Outside of those cuts, time is ticking. Franchise tag is tomorrow. Time is ticking. You got 8 days before free agency start, and we know that tampering period is a little bit before it. Time is ticking, and we ain't hearing nothing. Because Chris Greer trying to figure it out. He trying to figure out the people on the roster right now. Talk about free agents. Then he like, okay, what replacement free agents can we go get? That's what he looking into. Replacement free agents. Who are the replacement free agents? Who can I offer some money? Now you're going to have to overpay for a replacement free agent. You're going to have to overpay for a replacement free agent. If you let Christian Wilkins walk, you might go get a defensive tackle that's worth $8 million and you might pay 12. Because you definitely can't lose out on the position, so you got to be a little more aggressive. You can't afford to lose out on the positions. Certain positions we cannot afford to lose out on. And L'Jarius Sneed would not make that any easier. Plus, you'd probably have to give up a solid draft pick. You ain't got no third or fourth. It might be a second-round draft pick you might have to give up. Y'all think we want to do that? That's the reason we're in this issue now. We gave up too much high draft capital just to have the roster we have now. I already told y'all, when you look at Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey, Bradley Chubb, we literally gave up 3 first-round picks and a second-round pick and a whole bunch of late-rounders just to bring those big names in. I'm telling you, that was a mistake. You should have just kept rebuilding and kept drafting. Let me tell you. See, oh boy, this would get me mad and people don't understand. Let me tell you why I say that. Instead of bringing in Tyreek, Ramsey, and Chubb, you should have kept your 3 first-round picks and your second-round pick and your late-rounders and kept drafting. Why? Because if Flores can win 9 and 10 games without them guys, then why couldn't you draft three or four more potential studs and Mike McDaniel's genius have won at least the same amount, if not one more. Oh, I forgot. He did win one more with all of that. He won one more game with all of that, adding all of that. And we don't think about that. We don't never think about that. We should have drafted players with those picks. Because if Flores can get 9 and 10 wins without any of those guys, then we should have drafted a young core, more the young core with those picks. And Mike McDaniel should have still been able to have this team go to the playoffs. But, you know, do you think he would have had him going to the playoffs? I don't know. Because we know how much Tyreek was needed and all that stuff. It is what it is. It is what it is. So the L'Jarius Sneed thing, I don't like it. All right.